everybody. Your hospitality friend Glenn here. Thank you so much. So, as you know, I'm still here, and as I'm recording this, word is my luggage is going to be here any minute now. Super excited. I hope you got to say hello to my luggage in LA because I certainly was not there for that. But someone who was there for that is our intrepid reporter, Bruce Ford from Lodging Econometrics. We're going to bring him on to give us a good wrap up about that ALIS experience, and I'll probably give you a wrap up about how bored I've been here. But first, I want to thank our friends over at Unifocus. Unifocus technology that delivers value. Wish I could have been there with them in person at ALIS, but hey, we're all here together now. Bruce Ford, Lodging Econometrics. How are you, buddy?
So, gee, I could have picked up your luggage for you, but I wouldn't have brought it to New York.
Yeah.
But also 4 days for Delta to get your luggage back to you?
Well, hold on. I do not want to give them flack on this one. They get lots of flack for a pilot yanking, but I did wait because the storm was coming in. I did wait until Tuesday to call them and figure it out. And by then, my bag had gone to LA. And then they said, call back in 12 hours later. And I waited to the next morning. And then, you know, one thing leads to another. But once the ticket was actually written that it needs to get done, that was about 24 hours ago. So, yeah. So kudos to them on that. They'll get a double kudos should my bag be in the driveway when we're done.
I'm sure it was a nightmare for them.
Yeah, I was trying to, you know, I'm not going to call.
So, did you ever hear what the total was? I heard like 13,000 flights canceled on Sunday, but I'm sure that number got bigger because of, you know, Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Did we reach 100,000 flights?
I have no idea what that number was, but it could not have been great. Be curious. I should, back in COVID days, I would have the TSA numbers right up here on my desktop to be able to look at every day. I'd have to check that out. Maybe we'll do, maybe I'll have a report on that.
Because when they first talked about Sunday, the amount of flights that were canceled were like the most since the beginning of the pandemic when airports basically shut down.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, I think they said even more then. All right, so unfortunately that affected our friends over at ALIS in terms of turnout, but you still were able to hang out with a lot of people, learn a lot about what's going on. So what will be your summation and your final thesis on how ALIS went and where we're headed in 2026? Pressure's on, Bruce Ford.
So everybody has their convictions, Glenn, whatever they are.
Yeah, all right.
And your conviction is, I'm getting ready to build hotels in 27. That could be number one. Number two, I'm both a buyer and a seller. Some hotels I want to let go because I've owned them long enough.
Right. Like
return's not the same.
Yep, like yesterday's conversation. Look up that about recapitalization of your assets and capital. Go on.
But also, I could be a buyer where there's potential opportunity.
Right.
And then the third thing is really how am I shaping my company for the future? Because that's really a very big deal right now.
Yeah.
In terms of shaping your company for what it looks like in the next 3 or 4 years, every single time I've come to a session here at ALIS, AI is the first thing they talk about.
Right.
Everything's AI.
Yeah.
AI this, AI that.
So the question I have for you is, are they still talking about AI will be transformative, or are they saying we are doing X, Y, and Z, and it is really making a difference here, there, and everywhere?
Well, it's a little bit more about B this year.
Okay, good.
I think what they're trying to do is, number one, drive the younger generation, so people that are half our age, Glenn, into how they're selecting their spots to go.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about, because today that traveler, they're not typing into Google Phoenix, Arizona hotels. They're saying to Gork, you know,
Gork,
can you tell me where I need to stay for a boutique hotel in Phoenix?
Right. Right.
Which is
totally
something you and I don't relate to, but
no, Gork knows everything. Well, the problem for you and I is we're stuck in the freaking conference circuit. But you make a great point. And one of the interviews that I was doing this week here remotely was with Chris Hartley. We were talking all about loyalty right?
Yep.
So all the brands, everybody's getting into the loyalty game. And I think all of that is kind of leading towards what you're talking about with what they want to be able to accomplish next. Because loyalty for loyalty's sake isn't going to cut it in the future, right? Is what I'm thinking.
So we had so many years of growth in these franchise company rewards programs.
Yeah.
So they're now having to morph a little bit further into how do I keep people in my rewards program, get them booking as directly as possible, because that's the best thing for my owners. They're still trying to figure that out. And that's definitely going to be at the top of the list for 26.
So I think we're in a big transition point in a lot of different respects to what we're seeing in the hospitality industry. We just talked about that technology aspect of it, and you were also talking about the buying and selling aspect of it. So will 2026 be the year where the fabled money comes off the sidelines, or is it too tied up in AI stocks?
Interesting. So I heard a couple people say from the front of the room yesterday that the hotel business is cumbersome right now because it's not efficient. We have worked so many years in the business since the beginning of the pandemic to try and make the industry more efficient.
Right.
If you think about it, 15 years ago, Glenn, there was a revenue manager at every hotel that was upscale and higher. They had an office. They reported every day, and they were in charge of revenue management. Today, that job can be done from anywhere, and you probably have 5 or 6 hotels versus the one hotel that you had before. It's just a different animal, okay? And we have worked very diligently to try and make the efficiencies more scalable.
Right.
Okay. But it's still not all the way there because costs keep rising.
Yeah. So it's kind of almost like everyone gets this far ahead and then the costs go like that, right? Like Nelson. Yeah. And then, it's kind of a push.
Well, in Los Angeles, Glenn, you have to pay a housekeeper $38 an hour.
Yeah.
How the heck can you run a hotel?
Yeah. That's going to really weigh you down.
Doing that.
Yeah.
Answer is it's not really viable.
Right.
So what are you going to do? Okay. And
right. So that's just one instance, but you're seeing that at every point along the supply chain, I would think, with goods and services for the hospitality industry. And it's
100%.
So what are they saying they could do about the cumbersome aspect of it?
Well, it doesn't provide the same return that it did pre-pandemic because costs have really caught up with it.
Yeah.
So in trying to reimagine the way hotels function, these dual brands and these extended stays are the places where people are really putting dollars.
Yes.
I mean, you've seen it with both portfolio acquisitions, but also conversions into those extended stay brands. And
again, with fewer people operating them, fewer times cleaning a room, fewer of everything.
Yeah. There's less overhead.
Yeah.
And that's the type of hotel investment people are looking for. Less overhead, more controlled costs. Okay. And I'm interested in that. Where things start to get out of control is like, you just think about a hotel that's 800 rooms, Glenn.
Yeah.
It has 5 or 8 food and beverage outlets that, okay, well, we have conferences at the hotel for 150 days a year, but the other 230 days we don't.
Right.
How do you staff for that? Okay. And in today's marketplace, those cost controls are a very, very big deal.
Right.
And how do you manage that? And even with a hotel management company that might have multiple properties in a location where they can kind of flex staff as needed, we're going there.
Yeah.
In the hotel business. And that's new.
That is Fabulous observation. Our friend Chris Green, they had the big live tournament at one of their properties up there in the Detroit area. So they brought in people from other places as support, you know?
That's all they can do, because they can't hire the people locally to do it. You don't have enough time to train them.
Right.
But if you all of a sudden happen into this big book of business, you got to figure it out.
Right. And I think that makes sense, and that's very clever. And fortunately, a lot of management companies out there are already doing like clusters, because that way they can have better management. But they may not be in the same city necessarily. So you're saying that they'll probably get even more granular and have more properties in the same driving distance from each other.
Well, just like with Star Wars, Glenn, they always had the big destroyer and then a bunch of smaller ships that have to do other things.
Yep.
You should think about it that way.
All right. I was going to think about it as in terms of the shuttles from Star Trek, but hey, we'll go with your reference.
Hey, look, you can't Star Trek across the universe. Okay? You have to know the Star Wars, Glenn. Come on.
That is true. Yeah, well, you know, I love it. That movie changed everything for little 6-year-old G. I'll tell you. I'll tell you that. All right.
So my next observation,
yep,
and probably maybe the capper for the conversation today, is that when people are acting on their convictions, they do it with
conviction.
They do it with vigor.
Yes.
Okay. And I think 2 or 3 things are going to happen in 26. We're going to see more companies merge.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely.
Number one. Number two, REITs cost of capital is actually more expensive than you and me right now. So the fact that a couple of REITs are for sale is a trend that we will see.
Yeah.
And there will be more transactions at the REIT level. And then the third thing is that I might actually take a breath this year, Glenn, and say we're not going to have any new brands because we got enough.
Interesting. All right.
I'm settling in on that one.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
We'll go back in December and we'll look.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do a Friday night audit for the holidays in December.
But if we don't have like 10 brands, I probably was pretty correct. So
right, yeah. I will say 10. There will be some brands, but I think 10 or fewer makes a whole lot of sense. Hilton will definitely announce more brands in 2026. That'll be my big prediction.
But will they be hotels, Glenn?
It will be brands.
Because the Outset Collection doesn't feel like a hotel to me. It feels like a place where I can, stay in a log cabin or whatever. But is it a hotel?
I don't know. On the outset, it seems like it's not. We'll see.
Sorry, I can't stop making jokes, Glenn. I said that out loud to you earlier today. Maybe we'll table that one till the Friday night audit.
All right, buddy. Why don't you tell us how to find you?
LodgingEconometrics.com. We're also on LinkedIn. All of these podcasts and other great content on the 4Q Close are available, and we're happy to talk to you about helping you develop the forecast for the opportunity in the industry.
And Bruce, thanks so much for these daily reports during ALIS. It's been awesome.
I've sent the invoice, Glenn. Due net 30 days.
Right. Just got hit with another tax bill. It might have to be net never on that one. But hey, why don't you help get us paid over here? Like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Thanks very much for watching. Remember, you've got one life, so blaze on, and we'll see you next time. Bye.